Welcome back, AutoCAD programming aficionados. I'm sorry I haven't put out a video in quite a while. Sometimes life gets in the way. In any case, one reason which I haven't put out many videos is that I couldn't think anything interesting to write. I was trying to create some kind of artificial intelligence assisted program. I tried one idea, which was trying to get artificial intelligence figure out how many rooms there was in a floor plan and get boundary lines for each room. But because AI can't see, it took an enormous amount of time and the accuracy was very low. But then I came across the idea. Well, actually, this has always been a dream of mine, to be able to just say commands and they would be executed, because it's a real pain in the ass taking your hands off the mouse and then typing a command and then putting your hand back on the mouse. It also causes repetitive stress injuries, and you can go much faster, in part because you don't have to take your eyes off the screen. I have a tendency to do that just in order to transition to the keyboard from the mouse. In any case, I wrote this little program here, and I call it Voice Draft Assist. And right now, I got a lot of work to do on it, but basically, it's constantly listening to you. And there's a threshold which your voice has to go over for it to start recording, and then it records until there's, I forget whether it's a quarter or a half a second silence, and we'll take what was recorded and send it over to a program that basically does a transcription, and is powered by a what's the buzzword these days? Not a GPT, but an LLM, large language model, and it does a good job of translating. So I'll take this threshold down to below we're speaking right there. See, now it's starting to translate. Right there, you can see it translating live. So right now, if I'm silent, ambient sound is between 30 to 40, negative 30 to 40. So I think I'll bring this down a little bit more. Whoops. I think that's good right there. Yeah, very good. Now, if I say an AutoCAD command like circle, how about that? I got a circle command there. Now I'll say line, and look, I got a line command. Isn't that nice? Perhaps I want to move a few things. Didn't catch it. I'll say it again. Move. There we go. Now it's moving stuff around. Isn't that nice? Alright, I'm going to give you a quick tour of the code now. I'll disable that right there. And let's go take a look at the code. Alright. It's got two two main parts. One is this dialog, which we all can now do because I showed you all how to set up a Visual Studio .NET environment that will allow you to create dialogues. And in any case, there's the dialog, and most of the program is in processor.cs. Okay, and it's not that big. There's a few support files, and basically what it does is this main loop right here. It's called catch verbal command. All right, and it uses, I think it's called NAudio. Yeah, NAudio. You can get it using the NuGet system, which for those that you don't know, it's somewhere over here. I'll manage NuGet packages, but you can't be running the debug system when you do it. So you go over here, you go down to NuGet. Where the hell is it? Where's NuGet? There it is. Manage NuGet packages. And then you'll see I have installed these three things here. And Whisper.net, that's the artificial intelligence program that transcribes audio. In any case, going back to the program, the main loop. Oh, here's the form programming. There's not much to it. And then going back to processor. All right. The main command is start voice recording async. And what it does is first tries to catch a verbal command. And what it does is it uses NAudio. Wave format is the object that you use from NAudio. And you create a memory stream, and from that you use it to create a wave file writer, which is an object which does just that. It will write a wave file, which is the sound that's heard. Manual reset event is something I learned writing this program. Sometimes you need to get out of a loop that's going on in another thread, another process, and this will allow you to send a stop and desist notice to another thread. It's very interesting how it works. But in any case, what you do is you set up calls for various functions which happen automatically with this wave in variable, and it's the wave in event. And this is what is run when some sound is recorded. And what can I say? it figures out what the decibel level is here with this code. And then this code here, oh, not that code, this code here, detects that the sound levels are higher than a particular threshold. It starts recording. And it'll stop recording when there's 500 milliseconds of sound which is below the threshold for recording. And this is what it does when the recording stopped command is issued, which happens when there's been half a second of sound that's lower than the threshold. And then after that, basically what happens is, well, here's the event that's rolled up. What happens? These are all events. Date available is when it's time to do something with the sound that's been heard. Recording stopped is what needs to be done when the command to stop recording has been given. So what happens, it starts recording, and then it basically ends this program here. Where did it go? All right. And then I don't know. Let's see. These are two functions. This actually does the recording of a command, a single verbal command, and it puts it in the in this output file that you specify. And then this program here uses artificial intelligence program, which is called Whisper, and it starts a process. Because it's an external program, it's started on a separate thread, and then it reads the standard out of that program, and basically it returns the standard out of the program after it's manipulated a little bit, because more than just the transcription comes out. There's other things, mainly time, what would you call them? Time spans, where words were said, and you got to strip those out. And in any case, that will return the results of the transcription, what was said, that was higher than the threshold sound. And both of these are used in start voice recording async. Here is running catch variable command. Here it's running transcribe async on the wave path that was returned. And then it's searched for any valid commands. And if there are any verbal commands, it's executed on the AutoCAD command line here. And it just keeps going round and round. And this processor class variable is in the definition of the form. Here it is. All right. And this mini console logger is a program that takes strings and it helps you log those commands or anything else you want to put in there into a multi-line text box, which is part of the dialog box right here. And so from other processes even, you can send strings to the console log, and that's why you can see what's going on with the program. And that's a quick rundown of it. I'm about to improve this functionality. I'm going to add a bunch of features to it. Like right now, there's only line, copy, move. What else? Circle. And I'm going to make a way that you can dynamically add to the commands which the program recognizes. I called it voice assist dialog here. And this guy needs a little bit of work, but it's coming along. Sometimes it locks up for a little bit, but nothing too terrible. I want to make it work faster for less delay. But you know, as you can see, it's functioning okay right now. Circle. Circle. There we go. I'm going to make it run faster. Line. Sometimes it takes a little while to shut down. I'm not sure why. But there, it stopped. And as you can see, it'll report what was returned from the Whisper program. And then from that, if there's any recognized commands, it'll search inside the Whisper program's output, and if it finds an AutoCAD command, it sends it to the command line. And that's basically how it works. Soon I'll have some controls that will allow you to add commands just by saying them. There will be a text box where the last output of whispers, and if it's not currently a command, you can press a button to make it a command. That's going to be what I've done next. So that's it for right now, I think. I'll be back with the improvements in a little bit. Hope to see you all then. Remember to press the like and subscribe buttons. That'd be very nice if you could do that for me. I'm going to try to spend a little bit more time making videos right now. I did not practice. I did not write a script. That's why there's a whole bunch of uhs in there. Hopefully my video creation skills will improve and there will be less of that. In any case, have a wonderful day. And I guess I'll see you next time.